So let me tell you, it is incredibly difficult to focus on video game hockey when we have real hockey on the TV for the first time in almost 5 months. But we're back again. It's playoff time one way or another. But in this instance, we'll be paying attention to the Detroit Red Wings. Back in the postseason, not as good of a regular season as we had last year, but taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets in round one. And yet again, we're in a similar situation where we kind of know who needs to step up. You know, the top six for us certainly carries this team. We live and die off of this top six. They need to step up a little bit, but I'm pretty happy with the team as it is. Defensively, of course, hardly the best defense in the world, but unfortunately, when medium top four players just simply don't develop this year, it's kind of an issue. You can make the argument with Suter whether or not he should have been in the minors to help him develop, but he just hasn't developed. McGrath at a low elite didn't develop. Delmas isn't getting any better, so it really is problematic with the way medium top fours developed this year. But above all else, our postseason hopes rely on the broad shoulders of one Tristan Lennox, now 30 years old, clearly going to be the starter. Howard Lowe was the hope for this team, and he has dropped the ball significantly over the past season or so. Shout out to my air conditioner. We're going to test to see how distracting that is in this video. Let me know if it's distracting at all, and if it is, then hey, I'll make sure it's off for future recordings. But for today, it's on because it's hot as hell outside. Anyway, with that, let's take a look at what the Blue Jackets look like heading into this series. I am very paranoid now over how loud that is, but you know what? We're going to deal with it. We're going to march on because I refuse to sweat to death, but I could just hit the off button. Anyway, Columbus. Oh, this is... You know, I'm not going to turn it off because this is going to be a very short episode. Oh, goodness. So, Aatu Räty's at the top of the lineup, Tessier, and Kirill Marchenko. That's fun. Second line is Pierre-Luc Dubois, Elias Anderson, and Vitaly Kalinin, former 8th overall pick, almost 10 years ago now within the sim. Third line of Camden Carney, what a name, Jared Anderson Dolan, and Jack Quinn, and a fourth line of Alexis Protas, Henrik Lapierre, and Raphael Parfait. His name isn't Parfait, but I'm calling him Parfait. First overall pick 2 years ago, but he's on their fourth line. That's obviously a ridiculous team, and we can't match that depth. Our top six, because of Anderson, it's somewhat even, but why is he there and not LaPierre? It's insane. We're screwed. This defense is incredibly interesting. You have Quinn Hughes with Patrick Goligoski. Second pairing of Zach Werenski, who's still there, but then it drops off significantly with Tuomo Seppänen, Andrew Peeke, and Reese Combs. I suppose our hopes now come down to what the goaltending happens to look like. 84 overall, Eugene McElrath. He's only 5'11", and Colton Ellis as the backup. No injuries, of course, but healthy scratches of Olofsson, Beliveau, and Hobby Bulin. I'd like to say that I'm confident for what's about to happen here. However, it is a little bit tough to be confident given the circumstances. As we mentioned last year in the postseason when we ended up losing, the pressure is definitely on for this team to be able to win now. You know, we're only going to have so many opportunities. We are outmatched in every aspect by the Blue Jackets. So this is not going to be an easy series by any stretch. And of course, you know, we've seen some ridiculous postseason runs as of late. You know, multiple overtimes that could very well happen again in this series. Of course, between this and the Ottawa series, we've already had some crazy playoff scenarios. But with that said, let's do this. Let's get down to business. Let's pull off this Band-Aid and probably get our asses kicked. First period, game one, and... You know, 7 goals in the first period, you know, that's one way to top Edmonton and Chicago and what they've done so far today. Jesus, 7 goals on 19 shots. Suter starts off the scoring just 39 seconds into it. And from there, actually 49 seconds into it, math is easy. They tie it. Othman gives us the lead. Anderson ties it. And then Recchi, Madsen, Cashman. 5-2 Detroit. Hell of a start. Second period. Make it 7-2 Detroit. Well, I said the offense needed to step up. Yeah, they've done that. Cashman and Bales. It's 7-2. 7 goals on 18 shots. Boy. You know, about a minute ago, I said that we've seen some crazy postseason kind of deals, right? And the way these games have simmed. Well, add this one to the list. It's now 8-2. Brennan Othman scores again. That is your final score. And now we have to hope that we didn't use up all of our goal-scoring output in just one game. That has certainly happened before. But look at this, too. It was all 5-on-5 for the most part. Cashman, Merritt, and Madsen, the top line, a +5 for each of them. That is insane. Fowler, our centerman, had a really good day, too, aside from DeAndre Carlton. Only won 4 of 11. But our centerman, for the most part, did a pretty good job. It's interesting that so many different players took faceoffs, because I guess in the sim, centers can be kicked out of the draw. It doesn't happen, of course, once you're actually in the game, because, I don't know, that's something that was in NHL 2K10, but we don't have it in this. We're going to jump into game 2. Auto-rotate is off, so Tristan Lennox will be between the pipes. Let's see what we can do here now, shall we? First period, good start again. Justin Madsen on the power play. Second period, Jesus Christ! What has gotten into this team? Cashman, Fowler, Lehman, and Drysdale. It is 5-0. As we head into the third period, here I thought we'd be in trouble with our defense and goaltending. Columbus cannot get a stop. Mike Smith-esque goaltending as Elias Anderson gets them back into this game slightly. Small sliver of hope. It's 5-1. And it looks like this scoreline might hold. So we are going to take both games on the road. Ratu makes it 5-2. And it's going to be too little too late there for the Blue Jackets. So there you go. Good stuff so far for this team. Very happy to see it. We still got a long way to go with 2 more wins needed, but Tristan Lennox getting the job done. It's amazing to me how he's done for us over the past, season here, really in the postseason, as Harvey Brennan actually goes down to injury. Injuries are supposed to be off, so I'm not sure what's up with that, but we are losing Harvey Brennan on that fourth line. He hasn't been a major impact player for us so far. I think the only choice here is to call up Max Galad. A longtime veteran player, has scored a clutch overtime goal for us in the past. So we are going to bring Max Galad back into this lineup, and I'm going to go make sure the injuries are off. I think I actually slightly changed something with the sliders, and that would do it. But Galad's already a perfect fit for that line. He's really not much of a centerman. And we'll go best lines down in the AHL. Although now we do have Michael Bianconi in, so these AHL lines are going to be a bit of a mess. I don't even know if Grand Rapids is actually still in the postseason. Let's go make sure injuries are off here. Like I said, they should have been, but what are you going to do if you slightly change something? Yep, look at that. They're back on. Well done. Let's turn that off. Let's turn that off. That can happen when I change slider sets from the main menus and have to reload it into this. So, regardless, a 2-0 series lead. We head back home with a chance to take a crucial lead. Could be 3-0 at the end of this game. Let's do it. First period, and a much better start for Columbus. 2 power play goals, Protas and Ratu, and that doesn't help. Doesn't help, and certainly doesn't help make me feel as though we're going to be able to avoid the situation of the home team losing every game. Second period, we do get back in it. Cameron Merritt gets his 6th point of this series already. So we go to the third period down by a goal. Certainly an opportunity to still get back into this one, but we need somebody to step up. Power play chance goes to waste, and Dubois makes it 3-1. So it appears as though the home team trend is going to be a thing. Dubois makes it 4-1. And indeed, the home team has yet to win through the first 3 games of this series. 43 saves for McElrath. Quite a performance there after getting lit up over the first 2 games, allowing 13 goals. He allows just 1 in Game 3. So we still have a great opportunity here in front of us. Can we make the most of it? If we lose this game and the series is tied, we'll have to take a look at the lines, but let's see what we can do. We need something here. First period, not a great start, man. Oh, this home team trend is devastating. Othman started off the scoring on the power play. Marchenko, Beaufait, and Marchenko again. It is 3-1 Columbus. Second period, make it 6-1 Columbus. Always nice to see a 2-0 series lead just evaporate in front of your very eyes. We went from being the ones doing the pooping to now getting pooped on, and it's not fun. 7-1. Howard Lowe is in. He gives up a goal. Can they make it 8 is the question. Brennan Othman gets his second of the game. He starts the scoring. He doesn't end it. Marchenko makes it 8-2. And the Blue Jackets have tied this series at 2 games apiece. Nobody can win on home ice. That is problematic. Harvey Brennan is back, but we have to take a look at the lines and see if there's anything we can do here. So Cashman, 5 points. Still pretty happy with him. Still pretty happy with Madsen and Merritt. Lehman, Carlton, and Othman. Lehman's been a little bit quiet. Neal, Fowler, and Recchi, they've also been a bit quiet. We could have Neal fail upward if we wanted to. And then that Maldine, Pino, Galot. Wow, Max Galot was horrific upon being called up. Absolutely atrocious. Right. So what is the answer here then? I don't want to lose that +5. I don't really want to lose that +3. Funny thing is, I don't think there is an answer. It's just this team needs to perform. That's the issue. With a team like this, we have them set up as best as we can possibly have them be set up. And if they can't get the job done, then they can't get the job done, and it doesn't matter. We'll swap Delmas and Suter. And then, aside from that, it's kind of a tough call. Again, I'm not overly happy with Lehman so far, but we'll see what happens. We will see what happens. This is a huge game. I accidentally quick-simmed it, and we lose 5-4. We are facing elimination off the back of 3 straight losses. Accidentally quick-simming that did not help. Tristan Lennox is pooping the bed. Howard Lowe is no better. We are screwed. We cannot buy a save at this stage of the series. Right. Maldine and Pino have been brutal, so we're going to send both of them down. Clearly chemistry isn't going to matter with this team. Probably going to send down Galad as well, because he wasn't that great. So in response, let's call up... I mean, we've had McCauley on this team before. We've had Hoffman on this team before. Let's go with some youth that we've never used before in Comrie and Burish. And we'll see if either one of them can really help save the day. I don't even know if they're going to be on the 4th line or not. They may or may not be. But 3 unanswered losses after a tremendous start to this series was not exactly what I had in mind, but here we are. So put Comrie on the wing, and we'll slot Mr. Burish in at center, even though he's not a great center. Yeah, there's no line chemistry there. Let's see, just 2 points. So Neal and Recchi are continuing to struggle. And I think what we're going to do is drop Neal and Recchi to that 4th line. And then Burish, kind of a tough question. 87 offensive awareness, but he doesn't have many stats to kind of back it up. Let's go ahead and put Burish there. So Burish, Neil, Recchi is the fourth line. And we are still going to drop Lehman down. And it's going to be Lehman with Fowler and Comrie. And then Harvey Brennan gets a huge opportunity here. But we're going to make a change. I guess we're not going to play him at center. Let's just go with that. I mean, we're throwing anything we can at the wall to see what sticks. Defensively, Jesse Anderson has been abysmal, no matter who we've played him with. Angelo Delmas hasn't been much better. Is any of this going to matter? Is any of this going to work? The answer is probably no. But, you know, let's see what happens. You know, Anderson and Delmas are both being sent down. Let's call up Vigilante and Sasaki. And we'll see how it goes. But, again, we're in a situation where certain players just aren't getting the job done here in the playoffs. So we got to do what we got to do. So, defensively, it'll be Vigilante slotting in there. And we will have Sasaki on the third pairing. And that is about the best we can do. Goaltending-wise, I mean, screw it. Lowe and Lennox are both being sent down. We're going to call up Torres and Sampson. Let's call up our AHL goaltending tandem and see what they can do. Why not? Why not? It literally can't hurt. Our main goaltenders cannot buy a save. I mean, they did all right through the first 2 games, but 3 straight games of just abysmal play. So, let's see what happens. Our season is on the line. It started off in a promising fashion. We need to win here in Game 6, or we are being bounced. Let's do it. First period, better start there, Othman and Cashman. Second period, it's over. 6 unanswered goals for the Blue Jackets in the second period. The levee broke. This series is over. 7-2. We'll quick sim it. That is your final score. 4 straight losses for the Red Wings. And our lack of a goaltender and consistent defense costs us again. And we are facing the potential reality of this team never quite making it over the hump.